So today we have to talk about the embarrassing display by the Oklahoma Sooners and all that's coming up after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I'm not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today you can see from the dramatic lighting that I have decided to take on this tact of what the hell happened, because there's a lot of things to say here. There was Buffalo Wild Wings making jokes at Oklahoma fans' expense, saying, hey, we have beer, ellipsis, and liquor. We also had LSU fans just trolling the hell out of OU fans, because what had we heard for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks solid, right? We'd heard Oklahoma doesn't have a chance. Oklahoma's going to get skull dragged. Yes, I even picked LSU to win this game. And I think that most people would have been okay with an Oklahoma loss. Wouldn't have liked it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you would have liked it. But getting boat raced, getting embarrassed on national television again? No, sir. Nah. It's just not going to be all right. Look, Oklahoma's been outscored 49-7 in the first quarter of consecutive college football playoff appearances. That is unconscionable. And one of the reasons that this sucks so much for Oklahoma fans and for people that pull for the Big 12 and just wanted to see this team do well is you have 3 weeks to prepare for this. You know what this is. You watch film, you watch tape, you put it together. You brought in a defensive coordinator that everybody's on board with. Alex Grinch feels like the one. We're all so excited to see this defense that hadn't given up more than 35 points at a game since November 9th against Iowa State when they gave up 41. And then against LSU. First, you get Justin Broyles out there who bites on a Clyde Edwards-Helaire fake back when we still all thought that Clyde Edwards-Helaire was still very, very hurt, right? And making jokes about how they're not going to play him. Matter of fact, the radio guy for LSU on their network said Clyde Edwards-Helaire will be an emergency option at tailback, for which I thought, cool. That's like putting the armless quarterback in and asking him to throw touchdown passes. I'll allow it. So he goes in there as a decoy. They run a run-pass option. Justin Broyles bites on it. Justin Jefferson catches his first touchdown pass of the day. All right, so we're all kind of losing our minds over this. And then later on in this same game, Justin Broyles just getting cooked, filleted, charbroiled by Justin Jefferson. Like I told everybody, Justin Jefferson is a problem. And he proved to be a problem with 9 catches for 186 yards and 1 half football. But even before that, we watched Clyde Edwards-Helaire give Justin Broyles the Robert Barnes treatment. Remember when Robert Barnes got trucked by Josh Jacobs in the Orange Bowl last year and we haven't seen hide nor hair of him since? Same thing happened from Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who looked very, very healthy in this game. By the way, shout out to LSU, who was, AKA a con artist. By the way, after I saw Clyde Edwards-Helaire go out there and do what he did, I had to check myself to make sure that I still had my wallet. I wanted to check with the identity theft people to make sure my social security number was still mine, because we had all been tricked by LSU into thinking that Clyde Edwards-Helaire was not only hurt, but so hurt he wasn't going to play. Looked just fine to me. All the while, Thad Moss, Randy Moss's kid, out there taking the top off the defense at tight end. There was nothing you could do. Jamar Chase wasn't even really thought about in this game. It was all Justin Jefferson, and wasn't Justin Jefferson, it was Thad Moss and Terrace Marshall. That was it. Chris Curry doing yeoman's work back there, carrying the load. Defensively, CeeDee Lamb, when he was on the field, was the best player on the football field. But that's because Joe Burrow wasn't there, all right? Anybody that didn't vote for Joe Burrow to be a Heisman Trophy winner in this, after seeing what we've seen, I want you to show yourself, right? Because Jalen Hurts got 7 first-place votes, for which I'm going, who are you and why did you do this? I want an explanation. But I would also like an explanation for what Lincoln Riley takes from all of this. Because Riley is fond of saying they need OU fans to show up. We need them at 11 a.m. kickoffs. You know how hard it is to make an 11 a.m. kickoff? You know what it feels like to fight traffic on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. going down I-35, dog? No, you don't. because we all watched the game day special where you didn't know the garage door code, you didn't know your address. You do this thing called coaching football, and Caitlin handles the business, all right? I get that. And you're good at it. And by all accounts, awesome husband, awesome father, awesome coach. Just not one that's ready to get his team prepared to play in a college football playoff game, or so it seems. Because this is all we got to go off of, man. I continue to tell people, Oklahoma fans will give you their still beating heart, and you'll break it. They spend their money on it. They go horse yelling about this stuff. They sell out the stadium at Owen Field, and what do you say but keep coming back? How often can you keep telling people to come back when they know that they're going to get embarrassed like this? I mean, well, nobody likes losing, and at Oklahoma, you're never going to be a loser. And as Riley's want to say, it's always shocking, that OU loses a game, but also you got 3 players suspended, man, for drug tests. And then we got Buki picking up the targeting penalty. That was stupid. So you're without another safety. So Woody Washington gets out there and he gets his grits cooked. And all of a sudden you got one decent safety in Pat Fields, but even that dude is getting styled on. Parnell Motley looked all right. Kenneth Murray Jr. goes out. Brian Meade is a liability, filling on the wrong plays. You don't know exactly what you're going to get out of your defensive line because when they were able to get a pass rush, Joe Burrow eluded it, and he found an open receiver. I would tell anybody, Oklahoma football is the birthright of OU fans because this state was not meant to be a state. This state was meant to be a wasteland for people that this country had set aside, that thought little of. And then we all came together to make this thing. We forged our identity into Oklahoma. We were admitted into the Union. And we still didn't feel great about ourselves. This is the Dust Bowl. This is the place where John Steinbeck wrote The Grapes of Wrath, where people were escaping Oklahoma. And then Dr. George Lynn Cross decided that he would give Oklahoma what he'd seen back east that worked. I'm going to give them a football team. I'm going to go get a coach, and I'm going to see if I can't build an identity for this state at this university called the University of Oklahoma that is around a football team that you can be proud of. And not only did it work, Bud Wilkinson turned it into a monster, and he turned it into the kind of thing for which people had to speak well of Oklahoma. They had to speak well of Oklahoma because Sooner football was here. And then later, Barry Switzer gave us even more of an identity, not just because he won national championships, but because he was charismatic, he was authentic, he was real, and he was the kind of person everybody wanted at their party. Still is. And that is what Oklahoma football has become. It's why so many people build their entire lives around it. One of my favorite Twitter accounts, OU Road Warrior, that dude goes to every OU away game, home and away. He finds a way, he's done the thing where he's driven overnight from Las Vegas to make it. So there are people that are invested, and there are people that really, really, really will give their heart and soul to this thing. And I don't know what it's going to take for Oklahoma to get past this thing called the college football playoff where you can make it 4 times, you can lose 3 times, you can get embarrassed twice. But something's got to give here, right? The joke here is maybe now the Dallas Cowboys Lincoln Riley rumors were calmed down because of this performance. But it's quite clear from jump that Oklahoma was not prepared to play, that Lincoln Riley did not have his kiddos prepared to play, suspended players and no suspended players. De'Laren Turner yelled, broken collarbone aside. And I don't know how you fix that because this is such a hard stage to get to. And for Oklahoma to have been there 4 times in 5 years and to be there 3 times in a row and still not figure it out with a kiddo in Jalen Hurts, who was 38-3 as a starter, you really have to ask, what's it gonna take? But I would tell anybody, OU fans and Oklahomans do not deserve this. You deserve better. We all deserve better. 2020's coming. So is Spencer Rattler. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.